I do dislike that, like when you're in even like a story game and you don't know where to go, and like you open up the quest and it's like go to Leowin south of Bravo. There you will meet a man in the Inn of the Winking Skeever, and it's like I'm fucking here. I've talked to everyone twice. This Argonian lizard bitch is now mad at me because my personality is 28 out of 100. And so when I talk to people, she's going, go away. I don't wish you to be here. And there's one spell in Skyrim and Oblivion that is great in theory, Woody. It's called Clairvoyance. And every character starts with it. And the whole point of it is you cast it, and then like a glowing ball of light with a trail on it goes to the next objective.
That sounds like something I'd never get rid of.
I leave it on my spell wheel also, and most of the time it works, but the times you need it most, where you're like, I've been in this dungeon for a long time, and then you cast it and it will like lead you to the final objective or just end at a wall or like a hidden door, and it's like, yeah, I'm looking for the button that opens this. And I did this. Apparently the problem with Skyrim and Oblivion also is they both have the problem of you can get trapped looking for something, not realizing that you are in the middle of a bug. And so like I was in a dungeon being like the final quest of the Thieves Guild, being like, all right, I'm in here. I hit one of the buttons that should open, that should half open these gates that I need to get to this final platform. And then I can shoot the arrow of extradition or whatever towards this. It acts as a key to open this other thing. And it's like, all right, I hit the one button. Now I need to find the second button. Oh, I found the second button a few dungeons and places over. All right, hit that. And I go back, and both of them are still, they're only halfway open, or they're not open all the way yet. And I'm like, I must have beefed up. Clearly I am in the wrong. And so I'm running around and I'm doing the same things over and over, trying to do it. And then finally, after like probably 20 minutes, I look it up and I'm like, well, the final quest, Thieves Guild, gates won't open. And they're like, yeah, this is a very common bug where you hit the buttons and it says to hit the buttons again. But when you hit the buttons, it doesn't open the gate. What I did is just use my high acrobatics to jump on the ledge instead of doing the whole puzzle. And it was very embarrassing because my character has unbelievably high acrobatic and I have a spell that increases it by 100. And so my guy's fucking floating out there. And then I just cheated and jumped up to the level without it. And it was like, all right, well, that's fine.
I need that. So imagine this scenario, right? So I'm playing the game. The night rain is closing in. I need to get up this giant cliff, and the climbable cliffs are denoted as climbable. There's like tombstones on the side, and you just sort of crawl. You jump from one tiny little edge to the next, and your guy mountain climbs up. They go halfway up the cliff. I'm like, FromSoft, I paid you for this. Yeah. I even bought like the extra $15 for like future DLC. Why don't you like me? Like, what? You clearly hate your players. There's no comms. You have dead ends at your escape routes. Like, why do you hate your player base so much?
I can't play without comms.
Without comms?
Yeah, you need comms. I need to be able to talk to like all the games. Yeah, one of the things I like about Helldivers and Darktide and maybe in Baldur's Gate to a much lesser extent is when your team all goes down, if you play it right, you can, from almost any circumstance, bring it back. Like there are these missions in Darktide where we have to stay here and do this electronic puzzle and just absorb wave after wave, 360 degrees around us. They're jumping from the ceilings, and there's an ocean of enemies around us. And occasionally the specialists pop up in the middle of them, and you get a sound cue, and then you have 2.2 seconds to react exactly to that thing and kill it so that it doesn't net you or spit goo on you or blind you or tie you up in some way. And like, if you're good enough, you can just have this continuous motion of slashing, parrying, shoving, and sniping that you alone, and they all have to watch, it's like zombies or something. They're all watching you do this. And I've watched people do it, and we're cheering. Yes, he got the ult off. Yes. It's like, it's big. That's peak gaming for me, when either I can do that or when I love watching a teammate do it.
item in this game called a Wending Grace. And if everybody goes down, you rise again. I collect every fucking Wending Grace I can when I play with randoms. It's like, oh, does this boss have 2 phases? Fuck you. I have 3.
Yeah.
Just when everything's gone, I just, in my head, my teammates are going like, he got a Wending Grace. Oh, we're back in it. The meat on the menu, boys. And then, we all go down again. 2 Wending Graces, how many does he have?
Little does he know, I've got 13, but this group is a 2 Wending Grace group. I think that's the end of this, friends. I'm gonna let you die. That's how I would be using it. I'd be like, oh. And that's how I do potions in every game, where like every time I find a super valuable potion, I'm like, I could need this, and then I finish the game with like 14 of those potions, and I'm still not using them. And it's like, any opportunity for you to use this is long past. Like, what are you doing?
In Elden Ring, you can put a grease on your sword that gives it like fire or holy damage or magic or something. And I do the same thing. It's like, this is my retirement grease. I'm saving this for later. Like, I'm never using this.
The one thing I hate
Baldur's
a ton.
Gate's full of that. Baldur's Gate's full of that. But I played through it enough times where I'm like, especially when I'm playing with new people, I'm like, look, so we could save this until, I don't know, not this Thursday, but the Thursday after that. We could save it until then. Or we could, hey, let's just throw it at those green guys over there. Yeah. So I'm at the point where like, I don't save any of that shit. When we get the one-time use fucking thing that you throw when a giant observer comes out and just goes ape shit on everything. It's a giant eyeball with tentacles that have eyeballs, and it looks at you and turns you into stone. It's like, let's throw it at the first people we see we don't like. I try to get that shit out of my pockets.
Night Rain will train you to use that stuff. There's no tomorrow. There's no saving it. You're not retiring. You're either going to win this run or die. Don't die with anything in your pockets.
The worst like experience I had as far as like a single player adventure game was the first time in like 2011 that I played Skyrim, and I was playing like it was GTA, where I'd go into Whiterun and they'd be like, "You're a new face in town. Care to do a quest for me?" And I'd be like, "You're dead. You're dead, and now I've got your fucking fur armor, fucking bitch." And then I'm like, go out and do other stuff, and he's like, "I'm a simple blacksmith. Would you like me to work on would you like to look at my wares?" And then it's like, "You're dead." I was killing everyone in every city. And then over time, I'd get so many quests that were like, "Speak to Broomhilda, the blacksmith in Whiterun." And I'd go back and be like, "Is that bitch?" Ooh. And I'd look up online, what do you do if that? And it's like, once you kill her, they don't respawn. Okay. And then like, that's literally how my first ever playthrough of Skyrim ended, is that I had 55, 60 active quests where I couldn't do any of them because everyone I'd either killed or I had attempted to kill them when they went into like fainting, exhausted mode. And then when they wake back up, they're mad at you. And so it'd be like, "Speak to the Archmage of Winterhold." But every time I get even fucking close to that guy, he tries to kill me because I've done a lot of fucked up shit to him. And there's no way for me to talk to the guards anymore because I'm so deep in the muck that like there's no paying off my fine. Once your fine is like 600,000 gold because you've killed every NPC in most cities, I had to restart the whole game. Dude. My whole first playthrough of Skyrim was a failure because I robbed every blacksmith.
I played
killed everyone.
Dark Souls 1, and it's almost interactive. Chat, who's all played this game before, tells me what to do. And I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't know who my next boss is. What's our mission, boys? And they tell me, and then I execute it. But they don't always have my best interests in mind. And sometimes they lie. They're like, "Woody, coming up, best chest in the game. You got to go here. This is the fucking best chest in all of Dark Souls 3. And I'm like, what kind of, is it going to be a talisman, a weapon, a suit of armor? Her boobs were huge, I'll admit. Best chest in Dark Souls 1.
Oh, I'd be peeved.
And then, they had me kill her. I'm like, all right, let's follow advice. suddenly I can't like navigate it. All the lights are off. All these like warpable sites of grace or healable sites of grace are broken. Like, you guys really, you're not my friends, are you? You're sabotaging you're making this so much harder than it needs to be. Sometimes they help and sometimes they don't.
I'll intentionally like cheese whenever I'm low on money in like Oblivion. I'll cheese conversations, because something they have you do, Woody, is like there's a persuade bar. So if I'm supposed to go talk to someone and it's like this person knows where you can find the secret of Akatosh and what dungeon it's in, like, and if you don't convince this person, you don't know where it is. You don't know what to do. And so like you have to persuade them, and I will bribe them with like thousands of dollars. And then eventually, if you only give them like $200, they'll be like, I don't feel comfortable enough with you to tell you yet. And it's like, fuck. All right, got to load him up with 800 more coins. And then he'll be like, Akatosh, you seem like a friendly fellow. It's south of Whiterun. And then I just reload the save, and I'm like, all right, south of Whiterun, I'm not paying this fucker anything.
Wow. Oh, that's the scummy. I would never even consider. When I do that, it is funny though, like the way they'll be like, I'm not telling you anything. 50 gold. Get out of here. 100 gold. Fuck you. 300 gold. So the thing is, friend, my wife's a cheating whore. She's been running around with Bill the blacksmith. Go over by Sunnyrise Inn. 300.
And they revert back right away. Like, I went to some lady's house and she was like, I'm in debt from my father's debt. My father was a gambler and I'm in huge debt. 1,000 septums. Meanwhile, I've got $310,000 in my inventory. And it's like, but my personality is so low because I really don't up my personality because the conversations are funnier if they're rude to you. And one option was like, I'll go get your father's armor that you can pawn. And the other is like, I'll pay off your debt. And so I got her armor and then came back and then chose to just pay off her debt for her. And she's like, oh, thank you. You truly are the savior of Kvatch. Now, you can keep the armor. Keep it. You've done so much for me. And then dialogue ends. You're still in her cabin. You've just saved her from sure death from vengeful bandits. And then you hit A again. And she's like, who are you? Get out of here. And it's like, oh, you fucking cunt. I have half a mind to kill you.
Yeah, people don't recognize faces. It's okay.
There's
DST.
What I don't like is how like respect isn't transferable between quests and quest lines sometimes, where like I will be the most respected and accomplished assassin in the history of Cyrodiil, and also the head of the Thieves Guild, and also closed 100 Oblivion gates, which is just going into hell, slaying all the demons and closing it. And then it's like, I think I'll try the Fighters Guild now, which is effectively guys who like killed, like they just minor brawls. And you walk in and join and they're like, oh, this one, you're as green as spring grass. And it's like, look at me and then look
my
at
head
me,
is on fire.
Like, do you not see? Do you not see my fucking stat sheet? Do you not see how how I've got like 8 ghouls and goblins under my control who followed me into your little room? There's demons at my beck and call. Like,
this is Moloch the Destroyer. I fuck this guy now.
Make this Dremora bend over and give it to me because that's how powerful I am. And he's like, someone of your rank, perhaps you can take care of this rat problem. And it's like, you fucking bitch. Now I gotta go kill rats in a basement, or no, I have to go kill a fucking mountain lion in a basement, and then watch some lady hide meat outside of a house.
Yep.
Meanwhile, 15 minutes earlier, I was killing the emperor.
I know I did exactly in that order too. I was also like the head of the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild, and then I took up the Fighter, and probably like most of the way through the Mages. And I'm like, fuck, Jesus, am I on rat duty? I'm solving like neighborhood capers. Like the homeowners association of Bravo is who I'm working for at this point. I've been slaying dragons and ghouls and demons up until now. I went to hell.
Yeah.
That game is clearly dated by now.